2 years ago today that we lost a legend, icon, the Hall of Famer, the Mamba, far too soon, and his beautiful and talented Gianna. We'll be honoring Kobe Bryant throughout the show, and my prayers are with his wife, Vanessa, his daughters, his parents, all his loved ones on what is an extremely difficult day. And Jay, Stephen A., you've been around basketball most of your lives. I know both of you know Kobe personally. I'll start with you, Jay. How will you remember him?
He was a mentor to me in so many different ways, inspired me. And today, obviously, Molly, we were talking about this before the show, very heavy day. I feel like it kicked off a lot of things 2 years ago.
A lot of pain.
Yeah, with where we are now. But I come at today with a level of appreciation and gratitude because how I live my life, it's funny. Stepping on the court or stepping into the arena here with you guys and Stephen A., there was a relentlessness, there was an attack mindset, there was an appreciation for the detail, and there was something passionate about that, Stephen. You know what I mean? There's something uplifting and rewarding about attacking each moment of your life with the same kind of passion and sense of urgency that Kobe Bryant did. And I try to do that with my daughter, my wife, my son, my family, my mom, my dad. And that's how I try to embrace a day like today with how I will attack my future days.
That's a good way of putting it. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I remember one of the conversations that I had, and it's one of my most memorable conversations with Kobe I had, quite frankly, on ESPN 2 years ago in 2005 to 2007. And, you know, everybody was talking about it at the time, particularly when I did the sit-down interview with Allen Iverson. And they were like, you know, saying, Stephen A. trying to be Oprah. Stephen A. gonna be Oprah. And Kobe saw me, and he said, he used the F word, but I won't say that, obviously. He said, forget Oprah. Harpo. Harpo. He was in his mid-20s.
Yeah.
That's how he thought. And, you know, when you consider the fact that this dude, a five-time champion, a former league MVP, one of the greatest players in NBA history, and what he brought to the table on the basketball court, he had his post-basketball career planned and mapped out. He knew what he was going to do. And I only say for the immediate future because he constantly evolved and was always looking to improve upon that. And anybody who knew him knew he didn't care for those who wanted to limit themselves. He didn't care about limitations. He wanted you to springboard. He wanted you to maximize your potential. And then he insisted that you go out and inspire others to do the same. And so when I think about him, you know, today, and one of the things, and people don't realize this, you think about him a lot when you watch the NBA today. I've often told you, my personality is my personality, and I get that. But it vibes with those old school cats. The Hall of Famers are the ones who hold me accountable. I cannot tell you how many superstars have called me over the years. Don't let that dude off the hook. You call that out. You do it to me. That's what they said. He's passed now. Kobe was one of those dudes. He didn't sit up there and talk about any players or anything like that. He didn't roll like that. But what he would say is, excuse me, you hold us accountable. He said, wait a minute. If I sit up there and I'm shooting like garbage and I ain't getting the job done or I'm not committed to winning or anything like that, you'd call me out. Don't let anybody off the hook. Hold us all accountable because that helps uplift the game. And that's a big, big deal to me because when I'm talking about sports the way that I do, it's not just him. He epitomizes and personifies what so many others before him would say about how we have to protect the game and the integrity of the game by holding people accountable for their effort and their commitment, not their skill set, but their effort and their commitment to excellence. And that's what he's all about. That's what he personified. And, you know, that's why we remember him today.
Yeah, and I just want to say two things quickly. To your point, Jay, Kobe would be telling us, don't fight the old, build the new. How can you be your best spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally? And when I think of the word Kobe Bryant, that's what he makes you strive to be the greatest version of yourself. And the other thing, I just want to share one story. I think I was like 22 years old working for ESPN Mobile. Remember when we had the ESPN phone?
Yeah.
And I got sent out to Southern California for a Powerade commercial. And they were with Kobe, and Kobe did the commercial in English, in Spanish, and Italian. He's brilliant. He's so cultured, and I was just so impressed by that. And like you said, When he passed away, it kicked off a lot of pain for all of us, me personally. And one thing that I actually have done during this pandemic, I've never said it, is I'm in school full time studying Spanish.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah, Molly.
Kobe, he really does, because my goal is to be able to interview in Spanish as well. But I never said it because I didn't want people to start talking to me because I'm not there yet. But really, that Mamba mentality, I strive to be like him. And what a legacy that is.
Yeah.
That just to hear his name makes you want to be a better person and your best in every aspect. He's such a beautiful spirit. And my heart just breaks for his wife and his children. And I'm sending them all my strength and love and prayers. And I hope they have a peace that passes all understanding, because I know today's going to be a difficult day.
It's devastating, but I think that, you know, we'd all be devastated. And I'm just going to leave it at this because I know we got to move on. It's devastating for him to be gone. It's devastating to know that his 13-year-old daughter is gone too,
Yeah.
along with 7 others. But how you go also impacts us. If Kobe had died of natural causes, we'd mourn and we'd be incredibly sad. But the tragic fashion in which it happened is really, really what stays. I mean, I'm in California sometimes, and I'm driving, and you know, going towards Calabasas and stuff like that. You know, it hits your head, and you're like, damn, and it just messes with your whole spirit at that particular moment. And sometimes that's what it really, really affects a lot of people too. It's how it happened, not just that it happened.
Yeah, he meant so much to so many people.
Yeah.
And one last thing, the best trip I ever went on in my life was to Italy, and Kobe hooked that up for us. So I will always thank him for that. It was my only time in Europe. It was incredible. We know he spent some of his childhood there. So that's a positive memory, the Amalfi Coast. So thank you, Kobe, for
Je ne
that.
sais quoi?
Yeah.
Like, that's him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's him.
Yeah.
Where do I begin?
The pain will not go away. It simply can't. For anyone who
I grew up in a place where they told you what to chase, told you how to run the race. Every move was on the page, but I didn't like their way. Had to fight and misbehave, had to find a way to change, had to leave to find my way. Caught up in a daydream, I beat my mind up there almost daily. It's how I pass time.
Kobe Bryant's death.
Yes, I have cried.
2 years since that fateful helicopter crash in Calabasas took Bryant from us all on January 26, 2020.
My tears may never dry.
2 years since the same helicopter crash also took his beautiful 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, and 7 others with him. Two years for all of us to mourn the passing of this spectacular 5-time champion, former league MVP, 15-time All-Star, and now, posthumously, this Hall of Famer.
You're an all-time great. I'm so proud of you. I love you forever and always. Kobe Bean Bryant.
So why does it still hurt so much? Perhaps it's because Kobe was the quintessential girl dad, leaving us to mourn not only the daughter he lost, but the 3 daughters he left behind, in Natalia, Bianca, and Capri. Maybe it's the aura he carried around, embellishing the Lakers for years in such a way that not only upheld a culture of accountability, but uplifted it. More likely, it's the fact that right now we're looking around for someone like him to keep folks focused on whatever task is at hand. Players missing games for reasons having nothing to do with injury? That was not Kobe Bryant. Players collecting paychecks without regards to regular season participation? That was not Kobe Bryant. Players prioritizing any and everything but championships? That was not Kobe Bryant. He was the marquee, and he lavished in it. He produced because he cared about production. He won because he abhorred losing. He was versatile and diverse because he was allergic to limitations. And he was a champion because he never cared to entertain those interested in limiting themselves.
If I had the power to turn back time, I would never use it. I don't think about it. Because then every moment that you go through means absolutely nothing, but you can always go back and do it again. When things are final, you know, moments won't ever come again.
That's why it still hurts that he's gone. It'll always hurt. Because in Kobe Bryant, maybe a lot of folks saw what they could be, but everyone saw what they wanted to be. 2 years later, 2 years from now, and then some. Black Mamba, forever.